Hey there folks, Joe DeAngelis here with the 61st episode of Silent Film Saturday. This week I shall be discussing the G.W. Pabst film Pandora's Box, starring the iconic Louise Lulu Brooks. And I say Lulu because she's become so associated with the film that people sometimes mix details about her personal life and this movie up sometimes, and people just and this role is just so iconic for her, arguably, or not really arguably, but probably her most famous role. This is a package from the Criterion Collection. This is a 2-disc edition. Nice cover, I think. It's got 4 musical scores, a nice commentary track, subtitle translation, a 60-minute documentary about Louise Brooks, 48-minute interview with Louise Brooks, and new video interviews with the son of the director and the man who interviewed Louise Brooks in the previous supplement. I only seen this film one other time, and I really liked it, but I was able to really enjoy it more this second viewing. Essentially, the story goes like this. You have this really young, very attractive woman, Lulu, played by Louise Brooks, and she, because of her, eroticism and her looks and just the way she attracts men, it kind of just leads to this spiraling downfall, if you will. She starts out in the movie being kind of the mistress to this big and publishing guy, and then ends up in London in this really crappy looking home or lodging or whatever. And I really enjoyed this film, especially the second time, because I knew some stuff about Weimar cinema and pre-Nazi cinema, but this was the second viewing really was great because I had more of that knowledge now. And one of the themes in the movie is like the decadence. Everything is like so over the top. The parties are over the top. Everything is larger than life, and that is very much present in this movie. She's this mistress, and she's doing really quite well for herself. And then she finds out that this guy is getting married, and through a series of events, she gets married to him, and then they have this pretty big party, I would say. And in terms of like the parties and such, things just kind of escalate to a certain extent. It's kind of like a warning story against decadence of the period. I think Louise Brooks is really incredible in the film. She's rather charming on-screen personality, and I could see why she's so, iconic. And she means a lot of things to a lot of people, not just, cinephiles like myself, but also feminists, the LGBT community, etc., etc. Another interesting thing about this movie is that there is actually a kind of lesbian subplot involving one of the characters and her kind of attraction to Lulu. But the actress who played this woman didn't want to play an out-and-out, lesbian. But we have in the film, she wears very masculine clothing, and she's very much defined by her, very much masculinity. And she, you kind of get the impression that she likes Lulu in the film. So I thought that was really quite bold and quite interesting, especially for a film released in 1929 when we're in this, this day and age, and people are still trying to have a hard time, accepting such things today. But yeah, other things I love about the movie, I just love the cinematography, just the black and white. Especially with like certain scenes of like low-key lighting, especially in some of like the London scenes. One of my favorite shots in the movie is where she's embracing the publishing guy, but her face is like so soft in the shot. Pabst took great care to present, Louise Brooks in the best possible light. and every shot she looks fantastic. And there's really not much else I can say about this film except it really is a silent classic. If you're a fan of movies, if you're a fan of silent movies, German cinema, if you're if you're into movements and such, I would definitely check out this edition of Pandora's Box in the Criterion Collection, or maybe if there's screening it at a local art house movie theater nearby, I would definitely check it out as well. Next week on Silent Film Saturday, I shall review the 1925 Ernest B. Schoedsack and Marion Cooper film Grass. I'll see you next time.